Hey guys, how's it going? I thought I'd take you guys on a drive, but before we get started, I just want to mention that I appreciate everyone that's liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. And the people for that are new. I am a trader. I'm learning to trade, and please like, share, and subscribe. And I know I haven't posted a video for about 3 weeks, and no, I didn't quit. I am still trading, but there was a minor setback, and we were doing some house stuff at home, and because of that, there was so many. It was just too messy to be recording at home, so I didn't want to do anything at home. So that's why. But let's get started. So on June 13th, I was trading US 30, and I had marked out everything from top to bottom, demand analysis, and I was bearish on that day, so I was hoping to short. Now what happened that day was I was supposed to go this way. Well, what happened that day was it took out previous days. I think it was previous days highs, and right at that moment, I kind of figured, I'm like, okay, now the market should come down. So I saw a huge move to the downside, and I I shouldn't say I blindly entered the trade, because like I said, I was bearish on the day, right? So it took out the highs, and as soon as I saw a big drop, that's right there and then I entered, and it was pretty close to the highs of the day, and so I was in pretty good. But what happened was, I had entered a small position. It was almost like a testing position, because it didn't show me exactly what I wanted to see to enter the trade, right? So I kind of took that trade. It wasn't my plan, but anyways, I took the trade. Now it started coming down, and as it started coming down, it gave first pullback. So on the first pullback, I added a bigger position than the first position, so that happened. Then, and mind you not, my stop loss was at the high of the day, right? So then again, it did another drop, and then it pulled back again. So again, I added a bigger one, bigger than both of those combined, right? But then again, it started to come down. So as it was coming down, it gave me another pullback. So what did I do again? I added more. I kept adding. Now, the problem with that was, I was trying to pyramid my positions, right? So I was trying to make a bigger position, because I'm doing a funded challenge. So with the funded channel, there's some strict rules, right? And one of the rules is that on the daily you cannot lose more than 5%, and that kind of thought, it just left my brain. It didn't even exist, because I knew I was in a big position, right? And no way, my stop loss was out of the question. That stop loss would have been like 20% of the account, per se, right? And so I kept on adding, and I was in pretty good profits too, and it missed my TP by maybe like 30 points or something like that. And well, my short-term TP, right? And I was planning on to holding that trade, because there was other levels that needed to get broken on the downside. But what happened was, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna give me a smooth move down, right? But no, that's not what the market does. I mean, if you think of it, what happened with me that day, the market, as soon as it came down to the level to break the lows, it started going back up. And as it's going back up, I'm thinking it's a pullback, right? So, because it didn't break no structure, and so I added, and that kind of screwed me, because right when it started coming down, I started getting excited. But what I didn't know was that I'm being induced, and right there and then the market, it just turned ways, it went up, I blew the account, and I lost on that funded challenge. That was a $400 mistake. It was a 50K challenge, and I had blown it, right? So I also want to touch on psychology with this trade, because now if I had left my initial position, right, and didn't add any positions, at the end of the day, I would have been very profitable, and it would have worked out the way it's supposed to work out, the way my plan was, because that was my plan, right? And it played out exactly. At the end of the day, it broke the same fucking lows, and it went even lower. I think that day the market was down like 300 points. I don't think I would have held that long, but I'm just saying, right? But so that kind of got to me, because I didn't play my part, right? I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing. I could have easily just bought another challenge and went on with my day the next day, but I knew, I'm like, no, there is something wrong with me, because I got way too greedy. I started putting on sizes that you can't even fucking comprehend. I don't even know why I was putting on that size, but I did. So, in these kind of situations, you really have to reflect back and see why you did what you did. And this was my first time that I did such a mistake. I mean, I've lost challenges, but not this way, where I'm adding on, like, I was trying to be like Tom Howard, if you know who that guy is. Apparently, he's one of the best traders, and then he does pyramid positioning and all that, and he makes like tons of money, blah blah blah, right? So I was trying to be him, but I didn't have the skill aspect to be him, right? And one thing that I really did wrong was, what they do is, well, when you're positioning yourself, you want to take the highest position first, and then maybe you want to take half of that, and then a little bit and a little bit, and then you take partials on the way, right? But I didn't take no partials, so screwed up there. But from there on, from June 13th to now, I haven't traded at all. And the reason being, because what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go there, either revenge trade and try to win the challenge again really fast, or I can take my time and learn about that mistake, learn about my psychology, what went wrong, why I did what I did, right? I mean, if you look at it like this, right? People go to the gym, and let's say you break your leg, or you break something, you injure your foot, right? Now, you're not gonna go to the gym. You're gonna wait till your foot is better, or your arm is better, or something. You may take a few days off, correct? So that's exactly what I did. I just took like 2 weeks off. My plan was to only take 1 week off, but then we started doing like these renovations at home, blah blah. So I ended up taking more time off, which was beneficial to me, because I started reading Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, which is highly recommended. I think you guys should read it. I'm almost done that book. But even with him, I mean, I don't want to spoil the story too much, but with him, it's a lot of up and downs, and I haven't gone to the end yet, but I heard the end is really bad. But so psychology is very, very, very important, no matter what anyone says, right? Like, for instance, look at me. From that trade, it was a winning trade. It went from a winning trade to a losing trade, and to blowing an account that wasn't even supposed to be blowed that day. That one singular trade, right? So I think it kind of shows you, like, if your psychology is not all there, you have to take some time off. Do yourself the favor, take some time off, and go look back and see what's wrong, what's going on, what's your thinking process, why are you thinking that way, what's making you feel that way, are you in a rush? The markets are always going to be there. The markets ain't running away, right? You know that, I know that, but we tend to do these silly things time and time. And I haven't done anything stupid like this for a while, and it was coming, and it came, right? But we all got dues to pay in the markets. I mean, this is not a game. We are trying to make money, right? But at the same time, it's like, how can we minimize our losses, right? If I went back the next day onto trading again, what would have happened? I would have either tried to revenge trade, right? And maybe I would have blown it again. I don't know, right? But now, another important thing which I want to speak about was, a lot of hedge funds, right? What happens with the hedge funds is, they have psychologists over there with them, right? If you make a very big trade, so you have to get your psyche checked. And I'm sure of this because there's a lot of traders out there who make very well trades, nice trades, big profitable trades. What happens with that with them is they start getting cocky. They start getting cocky and they start getting overconfident, and then they start taking bigger positions. Now bigger positions, there's bigger wins, but obviously there's bigger losses. And from there on, they think there's something wrong with the market, but no. There's nothing wrong with the market. There's something wrong with you, right? And even when there's traders losing, what happens when there's traders losing? Then these guys go talk to psychologists and see what's wrong with them, what's holding them back. Sometimes they have fear, they can't even put on another trade, and they feel so low that they can't even do anything, like they can't even push the button. And there's been points, and I'm sure of this, that there have been many people that have lost their jobs or whatever you want to call it, or been let go because of that reason, that they cannot put a trade, they're not who they used to be. The markets are still the same, it's just their thinking changed somewhere, somehow, right? But I think that's the biggest takeaway from this video. Like, you have to have your psychology in check. And with us retail traders, we don't have no fucking psychologist sitting next to us, do we? Who do we have to lean on? It's just us, right? So if you lose a trade, go cry in the bed, go take a day off, take a week off, take a fucking month off if you have to, come back stronger, but fix yourself, then come back. Don't come back midway thinking everything is okay now. No. Because we don't have those kind of funds to actually help us with our psychology, or we can go to a counselor every day. Hey, okay, so I did this, how can I deal with this? No, we have to deal with it ourselves. So we kind of have to reflect back by ourselves, right? And I think, yeah, that's what this was all about, really. I hope you guys really take something from this, from my loss. And yeah, that's that. And thank you, and like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.